Dallas has just been on a tear. I believe we can attribute that to Jason Robertson. Also, Jake Ottinger, who's really stepped in.
Yeah, so we can compare a rookie QB to a toddler. Hayward's absence for this game will be significant, and I wouldn't be surprised if this game turns into a blowout as of late.
The Golden Knights just can't pull it. I really think the Avalanche are determined this year.
They made so many moves and grabbed so many guys that they have to win a championship or at least make the finals. They were on our championship and bust.
The same self, the only year he won an MVP was the year he cheated, which really should put something against that MVP. But
Yeah, and as a Cowboys fan, I have learned how dangerously good Aaron Rodgers has been with he can just thread a pass.
Hello, I am Ruby Ackerman, and you are listening to Outsider's Opinion with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NBA Opinions of the Week. I am Kevin. I am joined by the man that we will find out. Both of us will find out if he has hope in this team. And that, of course, is the Detroit Pistons. Austin.
Yeah, this has been a interesting couple years for the Pistons. Some people expected them to be better by now because they drafted K. They've had some very high draft picks, but it's not been the case. There was a whole saga with Monty Williams and everything that happened there. He was eventually fired after they lost or tied for the most amount of losses in a row. It's been a hectic couple years, but Kevin, will this year be one of the same? Maybe not as bad, but will it be progression will be seen here, or is it going to be another year where they're just a bottom feeder that's guaranteed a top 6 pick?
You know, I like to be a positive guy, but I don't see it. I think there's not going to be a sign of progression because what have they really done? They've changed coaching staffs, but to me, JB Bickerstaff is similar to Monty Williams. He was a guy that was fired from his job. Monty Williams, when the Pistons hired him, gave them that huge contract, was a guy that got fired. Dealt with young players. JB Bickerstaff dealt with young players with Cleveland. So really, it seems like the same idea, just a different font with the Detroit Pistons coaching change.
Yeah, I do like some of the moves they made this offseason. I think we'll see some progression from players. But if you're asking, will we see some true, maybe not contender for playoff spot, but contender for play-in, I could see it just because the East is so bad. I just feel like the bottom of the East is extremely poor. But I still don't know if they're going to be better than a team like the Hawks. And I'm not high on the Hawks. So I think I will agree with you that we won't see a large amount of change on a team aspect this season. I do think that Cade will come into his own this year. I think Duran, Azar Thompson, some other guys will start to show, but they still have holes on their teams. I don't know if it's fixable in one season.
Yeah, I do think Cade steps up. And to me, players can get better on their own despite the coaching staff. However, to me, it just seems this changing of coaching staffs is really hurting developmental players that the Pistons have tried. The management tried with James Wiseman. That has not worked. And Azar Thompson is a player that needs development. And they also have Tobias Harris now. I'm worried about the team aspect and how can they be a better team, because to me they just don't seem like pieces that will fit. And to me, I don't trust the leadership. I also think you can lump the GM in there and ownership. It doesn't seem they have a cohesive plan. This is a plan that continues to change season to season.
Yeah, and it's hard for a team. I know this isn't the same as football, but it's hard for a team to keep cycling through coaches and see improvement because it's a new system. Even if it isn't as big as, again, football and basketball's a little bit more player-oriented, it's still going to take a while to get used to the new system of playing offense, playing defense, how you're going to fit in with what the coach expects from you and what you expect from your teammates. So I definitely think this will be a growing year, which they've been in for a while now.
And another thing I wanted you talk about coaching staff is they're evaluating the players again. This is different opinions on the coaches. One Monty may have thought one guy could have had the potential to be an all-star. A guy may think no, he should be used differently. How can I put him in better situations? That takes about a year to figure out, at least a few months to figure out, and then they have to implement it. So the players are getting different directions with different coaching staff because they're different coaches. And to me, that's really hurting the team. And I just don't see how it gets better without it getting worse or continuing to get worse. Because I do think last year was a low point, but I don't think this year is going to be a high point. It would kind of be close to a similar line. It might get a little bit better, but from a team aspect, I don't see them competing for the plan. I just see them as okay, we're developing guys. What else can we do? And it's going to be really tough to tell. And I think it's a harsh reality. And it really stinks when you think about a young team. You're like, okay, they're going to be better. And then the team doesn't get it right. And I was really excited about Monty Williams taking over the Pistons. And that dream did not last long.
Yeah, so we'll kind of end off this video by saying how long will it be until we see change on how the team is necessarily contending, whether it be contending for a play-in spot, playoff spot. Is that 2 years down the line? Because we obviously don't think it's going to be this year. How far away is that for this Pistons team as is?
Playoff spot. The East is bad. I'll go optimistic here and I'll say 2 years.
I could definitely see that. Their team is so young that I could any answer is really acceptable here because I don't really know how they're going to shape out. Some young players develop more quickly than others, and that could really impact whether or not their playoff windows next season or 2, 3, 4, 5 years after that. So I'm fine agreeing with you on here as well, but it may take a little bit for them to be anywhere near true contendering because of how their team is built.
Yeah, to me, I think Cade can still be a star, but we've seen guys have stars and they need to build around them. And to me, that's the concerning part about the Pistons is the pieces around Cade. I don't think you need to look for someone new and that superstar role. To me, that's Cade. I also like Jaden Ivey, but it's how do these players complement each other? And I don't really trust the Pistons' leadership to figure that out.
And that's fair. What have they proven to show that they can do that? They have one playoff game, I think, since 2008. I'm trying to think. They got swept by Milwaukee in 2020.
What about
What?
when was Blake Griffin and
That was what I'm
DeAndre?
talking about.
And it was Blake Griffin and Cousins. Were they on for a few years together?
Cousins. You talking about Drummond?
Okay, maybe it's Drummond. Yeah. Yeah, it's Drummond and Griffin.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They got swept by the Bucks.
Dang.
I'm trying to think. I know they didn't win one in 2016 because that was the year they also got swept by LeBron. Let me see. Is it? Are we seriously talking about like 2010?
Wow.
Well, let's find out. So yeah, they got swept by the Bucks. Swept by. Oh, I was wrong. The last time they won they got swept in 2009 too by LeBron. So 2008.
2008 is the last time.
They've won a playoff game.
Wow. That's incredible. Yeah, incredibly sad as well. So on that note, I'll let you close this one out.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening. Please let us know how you guys feel about the Pistons. Will this be a year of resurgence, or is this just something that we have to get used to of them just being bad for a number of years? Thank you guys for listening.